Welcome back, kids. Whew. Sean's here again because Jonathan's still out of town. Now you notice he's doing some kung fu. Before we get into our topic, I want to talk about one of my favorite music academies in the great Midwest. So if you haven't been out to Songbird Music Lessons, or I call it the Songbird Music Academy, but it's not really called that. I just like to, because I think it's official.
Academy makes it seem.
It's just, I mean, that's what I would have done. But no, the cat that leads this, I'm not gonna say his name, so I don't do that. But because I don't want people to go in there and try to fight him, because I'm gonna say this guy can fight. He's like kung fu extreme. He's like the Steven Seagal of
Only
music schools.
The best.
There's lots of inside jokes there between me and him, so I hope you appreciate that. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Click like and subscribe if you like this content, and click that
bell.
Thank you, Bell. Jonathan always says that so well. I just want to see if Sean can have it. He's like, damn, what am I supposed to do?
Hit the bell, please hit the bell. I don't want to be fired.
We're talking about the stalemate.
The stalemate.
In the used guitar market right now.
Bada bing, bada boom.
We've reached a stalemate, a battle frozen. It's like trench warfare has like sort of locked in a bit.
It is. We're just standing here and we're waiting for somebody to drop the hat.
Somebody wants to drop the move. So during the pandemic, and during all the crazy times of this past 2 years, guitar prices and demand has just skyrocketed. It's like the roller coaster to doom.
Yeah.
And people want to keep those prices there, and they really, it's not that they've gone down yet, but they're sort of on the precipice of maybe coming down.
It's weird, right? Because like we've gone through this whole pandemic and we saw it go up and up and up and up, and now it's like, whoa, it's odd because there's, from the Gibson custom shop stuff that we've seen go crazy because you can't really get a Gibson. They're staying up there.
$60,000 new Gibsons.
Exactly.
Still confuses me, but anyway,
yes.
It's just like gas prices have been crazy. We see this crazy thing of stagflation is maybe around the corner.
I love that word. That's
a cool word, right?
Come up with that?
No, that's a real thing. That's a real economic term.
What?
Yeah, it's inflation and stagnation combined.
Wall Street Journal over here is hitting it.
Thank you very much. much less intelligent than I appear. Wait, what? Oh, that's not what I meant to say.
But, yeah, I feel like we're seeing more of these guys who want to hold on to these guitars, right? And they expect them to stay, like, whatever they paid for them, that's what I should get, and more, to some extent.
Well, we'll get into that sort of idea, too. It's just the market has corrected. It's not corrected, but it's like you could get these crazy prices right at the heat of the market. The heat is over. Mm-hmm. It's still high, but it's if you have this used piece and you want to get, let's say, $10,000 for it, I'm just making up a number. Yeah. It's a vintage piece at this point, I hope. And no one's buying it right now. You might be priced too high.
Yes.
That's there's not much science to it, but it's hard to adjust. Like you'll say, well, I saw some previous sales on Reverb or something like, a year ago for $11,500. I want to get that. Well, it's not a year ago right now.
That's true. And something to always look at is not only what things have sold for, what's everything else listed at via Reverb or wherever else you're selling at, right? Because if you check those, I like to look at those and say like, okay, well, if everything's priced out at like $9,000 for this $10,000 thing, right? You probably need to go a little bit lower than that if you wanted to sell it right now,
Yes. You can't base everything off of Reverb.com's like past sales records. That's what a lot of people do now. There's a historical tracking outside of that, and just knowing your product and knowing the gear and how the ups and goes. And then a guy to check out, Jeremy Guitar Hunter. Check out his course on selling guitars too. It's not a pitch to it. Just check it out. Yeah. You can get some free. You don't have to buy it. Get some free tidbits from him. Just like ask him.
That's right. It's a great.
Check out his YouTube channel.
It's a great resource, especially if you don't know on some of these things. Because Reverb can be tricky, like you're saying, because you might see one that's like, oh, well, all these guitars sell for like $1,000, and then you see one that sells for like $1,200, and then one that's like $400, and it's like, well, what's that about?
Well, then you have to think, okay, that one sold in Asia.
There you go.
This one sold in Iowa.
That's right.
This one's sold in El Salvador. It's there's different price structures for each region, and it doesn't necessarily like show you like where that sold.
Exactly, and it doesn't show you the condition of the instrument. It also doesn't show you if there was anything added with that instrument. It could have been a bundle. It could have been any sort of thing that it went for more. And
when you buy a guitar, now we were talking about this earlier, right. And this becomes like you buy a guitar. Let's say the gentleman who we just were helping ship a guitar with, like he bought a guitar for $1,000, let's say. Yeah. Or it's a sort of random number. Like how many years? Like 20, 30 years?
20 years ago. 20 plus years ago, he bought this guitar.
And he's selling the guitar for $1,000.
Yeah, same exact price he paid for it actually.
And I think in his mind he was like, well, I'm losing money because of inflation. I'm like, well, you're not really. You've had years of accumulated play.
Yes. And at what point can you say, like, okay, I've gotten my worth out of this instrument? You know what I mean? Because for me, if I buy a guitar and I play the heck out of it, and, you know, whether I play it live or play it in a studio or whatever, it's like I've enjoyed it. I've got a lot of joy out of this. And you actually have a really cool thought process on this that you shared with me.
But yeah, it's just like you can factor in, like, you know, I have X amount of years with this guitar. I paid X dollars for this guitar. Like, I can divide that by each month. I'm paying maybe $25 per month to have this guitar now for my life. If I paid $3,000 for this guitar, but I don't even think of it that way. But if you need to do it that way, just to help you when you're selling it later, if it's like I just buy a guitar because I want to have it and play it, even if I don't play it, I just like having it.
Absolutely, and
I like looking at the case that it's in, knowing it's in there. I do. I have like that Castadosa sitting in my guest room in my house, waiting for Carlos to come back one day. So we'll see it there. Anyway, check out that video we have with Carlos. He's on one of our videos out there. It's cool. It's just neat to see that crazy intense dude talk about baritones. But anyway, I just like having the guitar in there. Yeah. So it's not the implied value. That guitar is going to fall any second over off camera. It's going to be hilarious. Awesome. So when you hear the big thunk, it's a Telecaster. It's not in the stand, right?
It's just a Telecaster.
You know, it's not just. I think it's a Baja Tele too. It's going to be. It's going to happen. Okay, whatever. But no. So it's tricky when you start thinking about trying to sell your guitar, because people want to buy guitars for as little as possible. You want to sell it for the most possible, but the most isn't what it was a year ago. Maybe. Absolutely.
And it's going to continue to probably get to a place where it comes down and acclimates, right? You know, we're not seeing like rock bottom yet, you know?
No, it's not rock bottom. I think we're coming to like an equilibrium, hopefully, where it's this crazy rise has stopped. And then we're in the guitar selling business. It is always good for us when prices go up in some ways. But I hate it. I personally hate it.
Yeah.
You know,
it makes everything a little bit trickier, right? Whenever we're just trying to do business, because people are like, "Oh, you're trying to get me," or this. It's like, no,
not even that. No. It just sucks. It just sucks. You know, like I want to buy guitars too, right? It just sucks. It's just like
It does suck from like a buying standpoint.
And just from like, you're just like, man, like going back to thinking about, like, the Fender Twin's the easiest one. It's like, that should be $1,000 to me. Now it's $2,000, and every time I equate that, it gets
nuts.
But I'm remembering prices from years ago, dating myself.
Times have changed.
Times have changed. So with stagflation on us, with, you know, stagnation's coming a little bit with like what we're seeing in the market. Inflation's happening, obviously. Like our gas prices, you were joking about, like, you know, hey, drop 20 cents, woohoo.
Yeah.
Wait, you're still paying $3.80.
Exactly. It's like, I wasn't paying that though before. But you're excited just because it went down from the crazy price, and it's still a crazy price.
Whatever. I mean, we're not in California either.
Exactly.
God rest your souls that have to pay those gas prices.
Yeah, $7. I'd be like,
whatever they are, I don't know.
Just walk.
I'll just walk. Take the bus.
Take the bus.
That's what I mean. It's hard to do that now. It's a big place.
It is a big place.
New York, easy. Did it all the time. Yeah. But it's careful. So adjust your thoughts. Like if you are selling a piece and it's not selling, you're probably priced too high. Just take a look at it, or maybe take it off and just like let it breathe for a bit. Put it back on. Fresh coat of paint, fresh coat of eyes on there. Not just like a drop and rehash. That usually doesn't work. People are savvy to that on Reverb now and eBay and all this stuff. But just rethink your price maybe. And
absolutely, I agree.
Prepare. Yeah, hopefully we're like getting at a nice level to where it's going to smooth out.
Yeah, or just be even, and you know, you get what a guitar is worth, but also remember that whatever you have gotten out of the guitar is worth something to yourself. It is worth something. Yes, and you know, I view that. I'm like, hey, I love this guitar, and I will sell it for this, and it'll bring somebody else joy, and at a good price.
I don't buy guitars for investments.
I don't either.
I buy guitars to play them.
Yeah, I had a guy come in years ago now, whenever before the pandemic and everything. He came in and he's like, "So which one would be a great investment?" I'm like,
some mutual funds.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's not like a stock. You know, it's like you can invest it, right? But it's not really like that. I don't think. I'm
going to invest in that stock for either my pillow. I'm kidding. I don't think he's a real stock. I don't think he's publicly traded. But I would invest in God, what's his name? I just went blank. My guitar player that we love, that has the line of guitars that we sold some of them. Esteban. If Esteban was a publicly traded company, I'd invest everything in Esteban.
All your coin. Put all your coin in Esteban.
Top selling guitar player, people, things, whatever you sold ever, in my opinion.
Hey, I mean, he's great.
And on his website.
He's an icon.
He is awesome. I mean, like, everyone that, if you don't know who Esteban is, and we're talking about him right now, just pause video, go look him up, come back to us when you're through.
You know what would be hot?
We're giving you a chance to pause.
Oh, sorry.
Go.
Okay. If Esteban took his hat and sunglasses off and it was Steven Seagal, that would be awesome.
Holy cow.
That would blow your mind.
That is sort of a mind blower.
They should do a movie where that is like the thing, and that wouldn't that be so cool? And
I would help fund this if a movie only cost $25. Or $2,500. I'll give $2,500 to that GoFundMe for that movie right
Johnny
there.
Depp's playing guitar in the corner.
Even if it's just a YouTube short, I will pay for it. Because
great.
God bless Johnny Depp. Free Johnny Depp.
Free Johnny Depp. Cigarette burns and all.
Wakanda. I was thinking, like, when you do the Wakanda thing, like, what if you do the arms like backwards and they're like up, and they just spear you.
He's not an intruder.
Man, that movie is so funny because I'm watching it with my kids right now, and it's so much of it's green screen.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's like the worst of the green screens of all of them, I feel like.
Well, like
everything's green
Captain
screen.
America Civil War, Wilby was telling me that you guys just watched that, and it's like hardcore. That's the whole thing is like green screen, like they're fighting on the airport, and it's like,
Oh yeah, that thing's all fake. You can tell. It's
that's
like,
not even Spider-Man right there.
That's just, no, like, but the whole Wakanda thing, like, man, this is like the most beautiful CGI background of Africa I've ever seen.
Remember whenever like movies were actually like filmed on location? Like we've talked about Lord of the Rings,
Like Lord
in
of the
New
Rings,
Zealand.
yeah.
Like
It's I
So
get it.
cool.
It's expensive. You know, like, and don't get me wrong. Like when 300 did like the whole green screen thing for theirs, like that was amazing. So it was done in that
cool.
artful.
yeah, it was like whoa.
Well, again,
It's like a painting.
It was. It was beautiful. And you're like, Jesus, this is amazing. Jesus Louise.
But,
no, Black Panther's fun. It's not my favorite of the Marvels.
It's one of my favorites. I'll be honest. I like it.
I'm watching again. I didn't like it to when I saw it in the theater, and this is my second viewing with my children now.
Still kind of like,
Yeah, I'm kind of. I was hoping it would be more fun.
It's okay.
Which I did though. I hated Civil War when I saw it in the theater, and now I like it.
Yeah.
Watching it is more of a grown
Interesting
human.
story. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is fascinating. Watching, like, the industrial complex of the militarism, and like sort of, it's not good maybe. And
It's a smarter movie in that way. It's kind of cool.
and on that note, let us know what you think about Songbird music lessons.
Brilliant.
No, I wanted to tie it all back together.
Tie
So
it all
it was
back
like
in.
a loop. Let's see if I can do
Songbird.
that.
Seriously, that guy, he does some really good stuff out there from what you're telling me.
Because he's just a big, cool guy. Like if your kid's stepping out of line, he'll put your kid in line.
There you go. Boom. He'll put the smackdown
No,
karate
he can
moves.
he can do taekwondo, or what does he call it? He doesn't do taekwondo. He does all the other, like, the real stuff. He called like take your dough. I'm like, oh, come
Take
on,
your
man.
dough. That's
I
funny.
never heard that. I was like, bro, I'm into taekwondo. I do it with my son. But damn, I got
It's good.
duped. No, but good stuff's out there. And like, if you've got any guitar selling questions, fire them at us. We'd love to help. Even if we're not helping you sell a guitar, any questions you got, we love to help.
Absolutely. That's what we're here to do.
Shoot us an email.
For sure.
And if you, side note too, and if it says you want anything from like anything on the
Yeah.
YouTube channel, it's not real. It's fake.
I had 3 calls yesterday.
Yeah,
All
I've been
fake.
answering
All
emails
fake.
a lot on that too.
Yeah.
We don't contact. We don't even know what WhatsApp is. We
Yeah,
do,
no.
but we don't use it. That's
Any of that stuff, there will be a video where we announce the winner, right? Like
Yes.
we will reach out to the winner too, but not
and I
through
said
any
as
of
a
those
joke in
sources.
one of our videos about a free trip to France. It was a joke. I just wanted to see what happened.
I win?
No. And then there were some scammers that were like, "Hey, you won a free trip to France." Like, so they're actually. So it makes me happy that the
They're
scammers
listening.
are watching the video.
They're watching. They're listening.
They're actually, oh, cool. Let's send this guy. Let's
France,
try to.
gotcha.
You'll get a phone call from Baxter or Jonathan or Sean.
That's right. You will be reached out to.
We will find you.
Yes.
If anyone ever asks for your credit card or any of your information, fake.
No social security numbers either.
Well, I do need that with your tax ID and
That's
your date of birth.
Full name as well.
Right now.
Right now.
Watch
in the
Lord of the
comments.
Can't wait to watch Lord of the Rings with my kids. So much better than Black Panther.
Good. I haven't been watching TV. I've been watching this girl on Instagram play guitar. Her name's Dee Dee Ray. Have you seen her yet?
Yeah, I want to talk about her in a whole other thing.
Whole other thing?
We're at the end of the video. We're going to talk about her later.
Okay.
We're going to talk about her tomorrow.
There you
So
go.
stay tuned for tomorrow. We're going to talk about Dee Dee Ray.
Boom. Rocket.
Bam.
See you later.